Walked into my bedroom and found my husband sitting on the edge of the bed, holding his laptop. He turned the screen toward me and my heart stopped. "Recognize this?" he asked. The video was already playing. And it was me in another man's arms. I'm 38. I live in Butuan, Philippines. My husband, Mark, and I have been together for 12 years, married for 9. He's 41, quiet, hardworking, and loyal. He works in IT for a government agency. I work in sales. We don't have kids. Mark wanted them, but I kept putting it off. I always told him we had time. Now I wonder if that was just another excuse. Our marriage wasn't perfect, but it wasn't broken either. We had routines. We watched shows together at night. We cooked on Sundays. We went to church. He always kissed me goodbye in the morning and told me to drive safe. He always came home, tired but smiling. Sometimes he brought home food even if we had already cooked, just because he knew I like surprises. But a few months ago, I started feeling distant from him. I don't know why. Maybe it was the long hours, the lack of intimacy, or the fact that we had started talking less and less. I felt lonely, like I was sharing the house with a roommate, not a partner. I should have spoken up. I didn't. Then came the business trip to Davao. It was supposed to be a 3-day seminar for my job. That's where I met Leo. He was from another branch. He was funny, charming, and he made me feel seen. He complimented me. He laughed at my jokes. He asked questions about my life. I hadn't felt that kind of attention in so long. I let my guard down. One night, after drinks with the group, we ended up in his room. It only happened once. Just once. I told myself it was a mistake. I cried the next day. I didn't talk to Leo after that. I didn't save his number. I didn't reply to his messages. I just came home and tried to forget. I cooked dinner that night. I kissed Mark and told him I missed him. I buried it and thought it would stay buried. But nothing stays buried forever. Last Saturday, I came home from the market. It was hot and I was tired. I was humming a song, walking into the house like it was any other day. The house was too quiet. I thought maybe Mark was taking a nap. I called out to him, no answer. Then I walked into our bedroom. Mark was sitting on the edge of the bed. His laptop was open on his knees. His face looked like it had seen a ghost. Pale. Blank. I smiled, confused. "Hey, what are you doing?" He didn't say anything. He just turned the laptop toward me. And I saw it. The video was already playing. The screen showed me. In that hotel room. With Leo. It was short, but there was no doubt. It was me. My face. My body. My voice. Laughing. Kissing. Undressing. Everything. My heart stopped. My vision blurred. I couldn't move. "Recognize this?" he asked. His voice wasn't angry. It was calm. Too calm. That made it worse. I couldn't speak. My legs felt weak. I dropped the grocery bag. Fruits rolled onto the floor. He didn't shout. He didn't cry. He just sat there, staring. "Where was this?" he asked. "When was this?" I opened my mouth, but nothing came out. I couldn't lie. There was no way to lie. I nodded slowly. "Davao. The seminar." His eyes closed. He took a deep breath. Then he nodded too, like something in him had just snapped into place. "How long?" he asked. "Just once," I said quickly. "Just that one time. I swear." He looked at me, and for the first time in our whole marriage, I saw something in his face I had never seen before. Disgust. I reached for him. "Mark, please." He stood up, shaking his head. He walked past me. He didn't take anything. No clothes. No bag. Just his car keys. I followed him out. "Mark, where are you going?" He didn't answer. He got in the car and drove off. I sat on the porch for hours. I didn't even cry right away. I was numb. My hands were shaking. My stomach was in knots. I kept watching the road, waiting for him to come back. He didn't. That night, he sent me a message. One line. "I'll come back for my things tomorrow. Don't be here." I slept on the couch. I couldn't go into our room. I didn't eat. I didn't move. The next day, I left the house early and stayed at a friend's place. When I came back late that night, his closet was empty. His chargers, his pillows, even his favorite coffee mug, gone. It's been 2 weeks. He's not answering my calls, not replying to my texts. His sister told me he's staying with their cousin in Cagayan de Oro. She said he looks like a zombie. Quiet. Not talking much. My mother doesn't know yet. I don't know how to tell her. She loves Mark like a son. She always said I was lucky to have found someone so patient and kind. And she's right. I threw all of it away. I wish I could go back and stop myself. I wish I hadn't gone to that hotel room. I wish I had just stayed in bed and watched TV. But I didn't. And now I've lost everything. I don't know what happens next. I don't know if Mark will ever speak to me again. I don't know if he'll forgive me. I don't deserve it. I just wanted to get this off my chest. If anyone reads this, thank you. Please learn from my mistake. Please don't make the same choice I did. Because once trust is broken, there's no easy way to fix it. I'll update if anything changes. But right now, I don't even know how to live with myself. 3 days after Mark left, I was standing in the kitchen staring at the kettle boiling, but not really seeing it. I hadn't eaten more than crackers and coffee since he walked out. I was about to pour the hot water when I heard a knock at the door. Not loud. Slow and even. My stomach dropped. For a second, I let myself hope it was him. I ran to open it. It wasn't Mark. It was Leo. I froze. He stood there, wearing a plain white shirt and jeans, like he had no idea what kind of storm he'd started. He looked uncomfortable, like he hadn't expected me to answer the door so fast. His eyes scanned my face, probably trying to read what kind of mood I was in. I heard from someone at work that your husband found out, he said quietly. I didn't answer. I stared at him. I wanted to slam the door in his face, but I didn't. I didn't send that video, if that's what you think, he added quickly. I would never do that. How did he get it? My voice was hoarse. Leo shook his head. I don't know. I deleted everything. I swear. Someone recorded us? I stepped back. Someone else was in that room? No. No, it was just the camera on the dresser. I set it up for. I don't even know why. I was drunk. Stupid. I deleted it right after. I didn't think. I cut him off. Why are you here? He looked down, rubbed the back of his neck. I thought maybe you needed someone to talk to. I know you're going through hell. I wanted to scream at him, but part of me was scared. If Leo didn't send the video, who did? Leave, I said. Don't come back. He nodded and walked away without saying anything else. I closed the door, locked it, and sat down on the floor, trying to make sense of everything. The video. Leo. Mark. Someone had to have sent it. Someone wanted to ruin me. Or maybe it was all just bad luck. But how did Mark even know what to look for? Who tipped him off? I grabbed my phone and opened our office group chat. That was a mistake. Earlier that day, one of my coworkers had sent a motivational meme, and someone replied to it with a GIF. Just a normal, harmless interaction. But when I clicked the profile of the person who sent the GIF, my blood ran cold. Their profile picture was me and Leo. From the back, we were standing on the balcony of the hotel room, arms wrapped around each other. I never knew that photo existed. It had been taken from a distance. You couldn't see faces clearly. But I knew that dress. I knew that hair clip. It was me. There was no denying it. The account had no name, just a string of random numbers. I clicked the account. Nothing else. No posts. No friends. Just that one photo. That's when I realized someone had been watching us. The next day, I went to HR. I asked them who else was staying in the hotel during that seminar. They looked confused. I made up a story, said I thought I saw someone suspicious near the rooms and wanted to report it just in case. The woman at the desk hesitated, then said she'd check. She called me a few hours later. There were 23 employees from different regions, she said. But one name stood out to me, Trisha. Trisha. Of course. She was from our local branch. She didn't go to the seminar officially, but she was known to follow Leo around like a lost puppy. Always asking where he was. Always showing up where he was, even if she wasn't supposed to be there. And Trisha and I never got along. She once overheard Leo flirt with me during a company dinner. She made a scene. I didn't think much of it then. I thought she was just being dramatic. But now it all made sense. She had followed Leo to Devo. She had seen us. She had recorded us. She had kept it. And she had sent it to Mark. The betrayal felt deeper than before. Not just from myself. Not just from Leo. But now, from someone I worked with every day. I wanted to confront her. I wanted to storm into her office and scream. But I didn't. Instead, I called Mark again. He still didn't pick up. I left a voicemail. Mark, it wasn't supposed to be like this. I made a terrible mistake. I know that. But someone made it worse on purpose. Someone was watching. Someone wanted to hurt us both. Please, can we talk? Still nothing. The silence was louder than any yelling. 2 days later, I found a large manila envelope inside our gate. No return name. No address. Inside were printed screenshots from the video. Still frames. Close-ups. And a note, written in sharp handwriting. He deserves the truth. All of it. Not just your version. I collapsed on the couch, clutching the envelope. Someone was still trying to destroy me. It wasn't just a one-time attack. This person wanted to make sure I never recovered. They were still watching me. I checked the locks on every door and window that night. I didn't sleep. I started getting anonymous texts after that. All short. All from different numbers. Still lying to him? Your secrets won't stay secrets. You think this is over? I was spiraling. I stopped going to work. I couldn't focus. I couldn't eat. I couldn't even think straight. Then, late one night, my phone rang. I didn't recognize the number, but I picked up anyway. It was Mark. His voice was quiet. We need to talk. I sat up, heart racing. Please. Yes. When? Tomorrow. Afternoon. At the church. Back garden. I almost cried with relief. Okay, I'll be there. Mark, thank you. He hung up without another word. Now, I don't know what tomorrow will bring. I don't know if he wants to try again. I don't know if he wants closure. Or if he just wants to finally say goodbye. But I'll be there. Even if it breaks me all over again. The next day, I went to the church early. I sat on one of the benches in the back garden where Mark and I used to rest after Sunday Mass. It was quiet. Birds chirped in the trees. The breeze was soft. Everything felt too peaceful for what was about to happen. I kept checking my phone. No message. No sign of him. 30 minutes passed. Then 40. I started to panic. Finally, I saw him walking down the path, slow and deliberate. He looked thinner. Tired. Like he hadn't slept properly in days. He sat down next to me but didn't look at me right away. We sat in silence for a long minute. I was afraid to speak. Then he said, I wanted to tell you something. I nodded, barely breathing. You remember that night? The night I showed you the video. I nodded again. I didn't find it myself, he said. It was sent to me. But it wasn't just sent once. It was sent every day for a week. From different numbers. Different emails. Printed copies showed up at work. One even showed up in the windshield wiper of my car at the parking lot. My mouth went dry. I hadn't known it was that bad. I thought it was a prank at first, he continued. Some mistake. But then I watched it. I saw your face. I couldn't breathe. I'm sorry, I whispered. I swear it wasn't planned. It was one night. One horrible, stupid mistake. I wish I could take it back. He nodded slowly, but his eyes were still unreadable. I believe you. But that's not what this is about anymore. I looked at him, confused. What do you mean? He finally turned to face me. This isn't just about you cheating. Someone is going out of their way to ruin your life. And mine. I blinked. You mean Trisha? He stared at me. No. I don't think it's her. I felt a chill run down my spine. Then who? He pulled a photo out of his pocket and handed it to me. It was a CCTV still. Grainy, but clear enough. It showed a woman in a hoodie, face half covered, leaving something at the gate of our house. The same gate where I found the manila envelope. I leaned in. I recognized the way she walked. The way she held her bag. My hands started to shake. It wasn't Trisha. It was my sister. Celine. My younger sister. The one who had been staying with us for a month last year. The one who used to borrow my clothes and cry about her failed relationships. The one Mark always tried to be kind to even when she crossed lines. The one who always said, you don't deserve him, half joking, half mean. I felt like vomiting. Mark continued, I didn't want to believe it either. But I had someone check security footage. She's been coming around, watching, sending the messages. She's the one who sent me the video. All of it. I stared at the photo. Why would she do that? Mark hesitated. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. Then he said the words that shattered the little hope I had left. She told me she was in love with me. I felt like my soul left my body. What? She came to me, 2 days after I found out. She said she'd known for months. She said she saw the change in you, and she started digging. She went through your phone while you were asleep during the holidays. She found the texts from Leo. Then she followed you. She caught everything on camera. I was shaking. But why? She told me she could love me better than you ever did. That she would never cheat on me. That I deserved someone who actually cared. Tears burned in my eyes. And what did you say? He looked at me, his face full of pain. I told her to get out. That she was insane. That she betrayed her own sister. I clutched the edge of the bench, trying to breathe. My own sister. My blood. I wanted to tell you sooner, he said. But I didn't want you to think I was making it up. I needed proof. I covered my face with my hands. She's been trying to destroy me from the inside. She almost did, Mark whispered. We sat there in the heavy silence again. Then he said, there's more. I looked up, terrified. She told me something else. Something about Leo. My heart dropped again. What? She said Leo wasn't a stranger. That he knew who you were before you met. That it wasn't random. I couldn't speak. My lips wouldn't move. She said he targeted you. I shook my head. No. No, that's not possible. We met at the seminar. It was an accident. Mark looked tired, like this was costing him everything. She showed me screenshots. Old messages between them. Leo and Celine were together. 2 years ago. Briefly. But enough to know each other. She said she told him about you. Said he always had a thing for married women. That it was a game to him. I stared into space, unable to comprehend what I was hearing. She set you up, he said quietly. She knew you were vulnerable. She handed you to him. And now everything was spinning. I didn't know what was real anymore. What parts of this were my fault, and what parts had been manipulated from the start. Mark, my voice cracked. He stood up. I'm not here to forgive you. Not yet. I don't know if I can, but you needed to know the truth. He turned and walked away. I sat there alone, holding the photo of my sister in the hoodie. This story wasn't just about a mistake. It was about betrayal that went deeper than I ever imagined. And it wasn't over yet. I didn't go home after that. I couldn't. I drove aimlessly for hours, stopping once just to throw up on the side of the road. The truth didn't feel real yet. My sister, my own blood, had orchestrated the worst thing I'd ever done. And Leo? He wasn't some random mistake. He was part of it. The betrayal had so many layers I couldn't tell where it started or where it ended. I stayed at a small pension house outside of the city for a few nights, trying to clear my head. On the 4th day, I got a message from our mother. Celine's here. She's been crying nonstop. She wants to talk to you. I think you both need to talk. I didn't answer. I stared at the screen for a long time before finally replying, I'll come tomorrow. The next day, I drove to my mother's house. My stomach twisted with every kilometer. I didn't know what I'd say. I didn't even know what I wanted, an apology? An explanation? Closure? When I walked in, Celine was already sitting in the living room. Her face was puffy from crying. She didn't look up when I entered. Mom tried to smile and offered me food, but I shook my head. I'll leave you two alone, she said, her voice nervous, and disappeared into the kitchen. I sat across from Celine. Silence. Finally, she spoke. You must hate me. I stared at her. I don't even know what I feel anymore. I never meant for it to go this far, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. I've always lived in your shadow. You had the good job, the house, the husband who loved you. I was always the mess. The rebound. The girl with no direction. That's not a reason to destroy someone, I said, my voice shaking. She looked at me, tears streaming down her face. I was angry. I wanted you to feel pain. I wanted you to understand what it's like to be overlooked. Forgotten. I told Leo about you. He was already bitter. You rejected him once, remember? Before you married Mark? I blinked, stunned. What? She nodded. You don't remember, do you? He was one of the guys who used to hang around your old friend group. You brushed him off. I think that stuck with him. So when I told him about you again, years later, he jumped at the chance. The air felt heavy, like it was pressing down on my chest. Did you love him? I asked. No, she said quickly. But I thought if he could make you fall, it would finally make me feel enough. You were my sister, I said, my voice cracking. I would have given you anything. And you gave me a knife to the back. I know, she sobbed. And I hate myself for it. Then came the explosion. Mark walked in. I hadn't even known he was coming. I turned, confused, but he didn't look at me. He was staring straight at Celine. You're still lying, he said, his voice low. Celine froze. Mark pulled out his phone. You didn't just send the video. You edited it. You cut out the part where she pushed Leo away at the end. You made it look like she enjoyed it the whole way through. My breath caught in my throat. What? He looked at me for the first time. I didn't want to believe it, but I went back. I contacted the hotel. I found the original security logs. I asked a guy I work with to trace the metadata. Celine had the raw file. She chopped it to look worse than it was. Celine broke down completely. She fell to her knees, clutching her head. I didn't know it would blow up like this. I just wanted to break the image. I didn't think you'd leave her. Mark's hands were clenched at his sides. You didn't just break her. You broke me. You broke what we had. I stood up, numb. You edited the proof of my worst mistake. And then you made it worse. You play God with our lives. I'm sorry, she sobbed. I didn't know what else to do. Mark turned to leave. I followed him outside. Mark, he stopped, but didn't turn around. I didn't cheat because I didn't love you. I cheated because I was weak. because I thought something was missing in me, not in us. I hate myself for it, but I hate her more for using it. He stood still for a long time. Then he said, I wanted to forgive you. I was working toward it, even after the video. But what she did, it turned everything into a nightmare. Do you think you ever can? I asked. He looked at the sky. I don't know. Then he got in his car and drove away. I stood in the driveway for a long time. When I went back inside, Mom was sitting on the couch, crying quietly. She didn't say anything, just held me like I was 5 years old again and scraped my knee. Later that week, Celine moved out of town. I haven't seen her since. She sent one message, long and messy, apologizing again. I didn't reply. Leo lost his job. Someone reported him. Maybe Mark. Maybe Celine. I don't know. He tried to call me, but I blocked his number. My marriage is over. The papers came in a brown envelope, neat and cold. Mark didn't leave a note. But he did leave a photo, one from our wedding day. On the back, he wrote, I meant every part of this. Until you didn't. It's been 3 months. I still wake up some nights thinking I'll hear him brushing his teeth. I still cook too much food. I still check my phone when I hear a message. But I'm learning to sit with the silence. I'm going to therapy now. I've stopped trying to make excuses for what I did. I cheated. I lied. I hurt him. That's on me. I let myself be manipulated, but I still made the choice. The lesson? Love is a fragile thing. Trust even more so. And betrayal isn't always loud. It can come from the people you've known all your life, hiding in plain sight. Mark deserved better. I hope one day he finds it. Quietly healing. Still unsure. But no longer running from the truth.